Hello everybody and welcome back to the website penetration testing section. Now what we're going to do in this section is we're going to see all the different ways and we're going to touch all the different types of the attacks that we can use against a certain website or some kind of an application that is running on an open port. For example, we all heard of SQL injection, one of the most famous attacks for the website penetration testing. We're also going to cover that, as well as many other attacks such as command injection, XML injection, XSS or cross-site scripting attack, password brute force, so for example brute forcing any type of a login page, discovering more and more information about a certain website such as which actual libraries it is using, what type of software it is running, which technologies it is using in order to run, which can give us some different information about that specific website. But before we do that, we need to actually have a certain target that we are going to attack, because attacking a certain website that you do not have permission to attack is illegal and we should not be doing that. Therefore, what we're going to do is we're going to install an actual virtual machine that is going to host vulnerable pages that we can actually practice on and that we can attack. Now, there are a bunch of these types of virtual machines. The one that we're going to use for this section will be the OWASP BWA. So that is the virtual machine which comes with different types of the attacks and different types of softwares that are running on an open ports, and we can try to attack all of them if we want to. But before we actually do any of that, we need to install that machine. Type in the search bar OWASP BWA, so OWASP BWA. Click here, enter. You can go to this link right here, which is sourceforge.net. Click on it, and right here you will have the download page where you can click on download, and then it will in 5 seconds start downloading your OWASP virtual machine. Now you will get the actual WinRAR packet. As we can see, the file size is 1.7 gigabytes. Now I have already downloaded this, so I will not be doing it anymore. You can wait for this to finish. Once you finish that, you can extract it back to the desktop or just copy it to the desktop and extract it into a folder. As we can see right here, I have extracted it to the OWASP folder, and you should have something like this right here. So we'll have several of these VMDK files, which then we're going to use in our VirtualBox as an actual hard disk. So in order to actually install this virtual machine, it is rather easy. There is nothing really too hard to do. You simply just click right here on a new machine. Right here you can name it anything you want. As we can see, I have already created a machine, so I can name this OWASP2. Under the type, you need to specify Linux, and version can be other Linux, so scroll all the way down and pick other Linux. Once you pick other Linux, click here on next. The actual recommended memory size can be left on 512 megabytes because that is more than enough to run this actual machine, so click here next. And this is the last option that we're actually going to change besides the actual network options. So in the hard disk option, you want to click on the use an existing virtual hard disk file, and you want to go all the way and find the actual VMDK that you extracted from the downloaded file. And the one that you are going to use out of all of this is this one, which is the OWASP broken web application.vmdk. So it doesn't have any type of S001002. It is simply just OWASP broken web apps-cl1.vmdk. Click on that one, open it. Once you have it right here, click on choose, and it will be written right here, the hard disk that you have picked. Click here on create, and you have created your virtual machine. Now another thing that you're going to do before you actually start the virtual machine, even though you can actually do it even after the installation of the virtual machine, is you can go onto the settings, and we want to do the same thing that we did with our Kali Linux machine, which is to make it belong to our local area network with this IP address. So we need to go to the network, change NAT to be bridged adapter, and click OK. And now we are ready to start the machine, so you can click on the Start Machine button, and it should start downloading all the files or installing all the files needed for that specific machine, and this shouldn't take too long. Basically, there is nothing really you need to click on or answer any type of question. You simply just wait for it to finish. Everything is automatic, and at the end it will ask you for the username and password, and the username and password we will just input it in just a second. So the username is root, the same username that is in Kali Linux, and the password is OWASP-BWA. We can see it's performing the installation. It is running all of the applications that it has installed in the VMDK. As we can see, AppArmor profiles, PostgreSQL. There is possibly going to be a Tomcat, Apache 2, and all these other actual applications that it is running. As soon as it starts all of that, it will prompt us for the username and password. So let's wait for that to finish. And we can see it did finish right here. It already prompted us for the login, and even right here it says login with username root and password OWASP-BWA. So we'll just type root and OWASP-BWA. Click here, enter, and we have logged in successfully to our OWASP-BWA virtual machine. And what we're going to get prompted with is the actual command lines. Here it is. It gave us a result of the actual ifconfig command, and we can see this is basically just a terminal, as we have root and then @OWASP-BWA, and we can execute commands, the same commands that we execute in our Cal Linux. As we can see, who am I gives us root, ifconfig will give us, as I said, the IP address of this virtual machine, which we need in order to actually visit its page. We can see the IP address is 192.168.1.8. So if we go right here and we type right here 192.168.1.8, we should visit the actual page of the OWASP-BWA, and here are all of the applications that we can actually attack and that we will attack. Well, not all of them, but some of them we will attack with different types of the attacks, such as SQL injection, password brute force, login page brute force, and so on and so on, command injection, and many other things. We can see we have the damn vulnerable web application, which you possibly have heard of, which we're going to attack as well. Basically, I just want to show you how you can actually install the machine, and in the next video what we're going to do is we're going to see how we can identify as many things as we can about a certain website. We are going to cover two different tools, which is WhatWeb tool and DIRP tool. The WhatWeb tool allows us to discover different technologies about the actual website, and the DIRP tool will allow us to see whether there are any hidden directories that are hosted on that specific website. So that would be about it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I will see you in the next one.